And it's really interesting, the history of this, which we get all about Pythagoras, and we all kind of vaguely remember the Pythagoras theory and tried to work out what it was and what it meant. But we get a lot of the history. I think it's very interesting to know that triangles were used by the ancient Greeks to work out the size of the world by shadows, and then the meter was similarly invented by someone working out the distances between. Where was it between?
That was right across France. So they started in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And there were these two different teams, and most of it was using the kind of old-fashioned, like a telescope attached to a protractor. So you can look at distant objects and then measure angles between things.
Yeah.
And so they kind of triangulated over 100 triangles all the way down, ending pretty much Barcelona. They got into towards Spain. But they had to measure two lengths somewhere.
Right.
So that's when they got a ruler out and actually measured along a very straight road. And there's still markings where they did that on a road just outside Paris. But the goal was to work out how big the Earth is.
Yeah.
And so they knew, because you look at the stars, it's reasonably straightforward, or rather humans for a long time have been able to look at the stars and use that to deduce how close you are to the North Pole or the equator, like the kind of up and down the planet. You just look and see what stars are above you. So they knew what percentage of the Earth is between Dunkirk and Barcelona. And once they measured it, they then got the distance all the way around.
Yeah.
But it took, years and a phenomenal amount of calculations. And we celebrate that. Now, the meter was meant to be 1/10,000,000th of the circumference of the Earth.
Right.
Which is I think it's very fun. If you step 1 meter, you've done 1/10,000,000th of the way around the planet.
Yes.
But they were ever so slightly off, so the meter's actually, imperceivably different to that now. But
pretty close.
Close enough.
And the Greeks got it pretty close, the size of the planet as well.
They were pretty close.
Yeah.
They were basically, measuring lengths of shadows and working out how far away a well was. We have the advantage, however, of they gave their units in stadia, like multiples of a stadium. And nowhere do we actually know how big that officially was. So within the error bars of how big, because obviously we can measure a bunch of stadia, but how big the official stadium unit was, there's enough wriggle room there that we can say they were incredibly accurate.
Yeah.
Or maybe they weren't, but we've got the unit wrong.
Yeah.
But whatever they were doing was technically correct.
Yeah.